Louisiana beer reviews, Modelo Light. 2.9% alcohol, introduced in 1994. This is sold in these 12-ounce cans and in 12-ounce bottles, maybe bigger bottles, but from what I understand, it's only those. When it first came out in 94, it was called Light Modelo, and then they recently changed it to Modelo Light. It's sold only in Mexico. Okay, so it's not sold in the United States. I bought this in Matamoros. Rate beer and Beer Advocate. Let's see. Beer Advocate is saying it's awful with only 48 ratings. And Rate Beer saying a 1 out of 100 and a 6 out of 100 for the style. So in the style they hate it, a light beer. And but only 56 ratings on that site. And just like the other ones I did for Mexico, the two other ones so far, the Tecate Titanium and Sol Clamato. Now, they don't have too many ratings, and for those two, they had so few ratings that it didn't even get a score. I think the Clamato from Sol was like 6 ratings on one site and 8 or 9 on the other. So these are not widely reviewed. And for those two, that was the first English video reviews for those beers in the world. And it could be for this one also. I didn't have a chance to check. It says Modelo Amigo. Okay. I've had the Modelo Chelada, the Modelo Especial, and the Negro Modelo. And I did a video review, a video revisit for Negro Modelo, and then I accidentally deleted it. So I'm going to have to redo that one. Alright, pretty thick white head. It's not totally white, there's a little off-white, believe it or not. And it's a golden color. I was expecting a light straw, but this is a rich golden appearance with a lot of bubbles, crackling. And there is some sediment down in there, okay? I shouldn't say down, it's not down, but in there. Little grit floating about, and it's not even super bright sunlight, it's obscured by overcast, but there's some definite grit. It's not super filtered. That's not that rare for beers when you're getting a decent amount of lighting to check them out with. Okay, the aroma here, this is a very rich aroma for a light beer. I am shocked. I was expecting it to be sort of dull, but it is sweet and full, and it's full of aroma, rich barley malt aroma. And I have to tell you, I don't smell any corn or rice. I know they say rice is odorless, but you can pick up something with that. This is much better than average so far. Now 2.9% alcohol, it's barely even a beer. It's almost like a near beer, okay? The flavor is a little richer than a regular light beer. Getting a sweet barley malt, a syrupiness, really, a syrupiness. It's mellow or light, but it's there. This sort of reminds me of the medallion light from Puerto Rico, which I thought was just a fantastic light beer, maybe the best light beer I ever had. This is not up to that level, but this is really good. I don't know why we get a 1 out of 100. I don't get that. Gee whiz, it even has a little bit of lacing. Well, it's certainly not awful, and it's not a 1 out of 100. If I had to drink a light beer, and I don't have to drink any beer, but if I was drinking a light beer and they had a choice, I would go with this one, even though it's only 2.9. I would take this over a Bud Light or Coors Light or Miller Light. Maybe not Sam Adams Light, but I tell you what, this is really good. For beer overall, I'll give it a B, just because, you know, light beers are watered down, so they don't have a whole lot of flavor. But I will give it a B. It's a solid beer. especially in the aroma department. Now the mouthfeel is light and watery, as you can imagine, and the finish is crisp, clean, refreshing, and dry. It is a clean beer. And the drinkability, you can imagine, I'm halfway through already. For a light beer, it's an A. It's definitely an A beer. It's most excellent light beer. So that just proves that these review sites are nice to look at, and I like to read the reviews, but you really have to try it for yourself when it comes to these, especially the mass-produced beers, because they tend to be biased against them and they'll slam them. So you get you'll get more reliable reviews on craft beers. But anyway, so Le Bon Temps Roulé, a surprisingly good light beer from Mexico and only available in Mexico apparently. And I'm gonna end this review by saying, y'all come on down to New Orleans.